the future of working families, Teamsters, 1932.org.
You're listening to an encore presentation of this program, KCAA, the Inland Talk Express.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in Durban, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works, and today we have a special guest coming on. It was actually quite a surprise. This is my stepbrother, Tomasia. Don't even know how to spell it. No, I'm just kidding. I know how to spell Tomasia. Anyways, hello, Tomasia. How you doing? Welcome back.
No, it's good to be here. It's actually hard to believe that I'm here to even begin with, but I'm back home now, finally, after what, like half a year maybe?
Well, it seems a lot longer than that. So, Tomas is actually, he's in the Army, and he's been out in basically the border of, like, Canada, like up there in
That's Fort Drum, New York for you, and it is like a 15-minute drive from New York to Canada, but yeah, we're in the outskirts, so don't think we're like living in the big city. We're just out in the woods.
We're out there in the cold, right?
Yeah, it's cold right now. I think last I checked, it was like 21 degrees, which is a good day, to be honest with you.
A good day?
Yeah, that's a
21
good
degrees?
day. That's a good
Hey,
day.
if we're in the double digits, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, I'm super excited that you're on. I know you guys are like, oh, where's Mr. Kyle Kerrigan, our co-host? Well, he is out in Arizona right now watching his football team lose, the Saints.
Oof.
Actually, I don't know if they're winning or losing, but it's funny. I ask him, like, because he goes to a lot of Saint games, but the Saints are not that good. And he's like, I only go when they lose. Like, because the tickets are cheap.
Right.
I was
Okay.
I was like, don't you want to go one of these days when they actually win? You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't that be great? Your team winning when you're there. But
It's all about the feuds.
Yeah.
They don't like to see him win, man.
No, they don't. So he's out there right now, and we're supposed to have another guest. His name's Ronan. He's going to be on next week. Super cool guy. I used to wrestle with him back in high school. I'm sure going to talk a lot about that. But he will be on next week. He was supposed to be on this week, but change of plans. I got my stepbrother here. I think it's better to have that. You came in when?
You mean like when I got here?
Yeah, when did you get here?
I got here 2 days ago. That would be on the 5th. Oh, no, not the 5th.
It's the 15th right now.
It's the 15th, so I got here on the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Late at night.
Dude, did you get any tattoos for Friday the 13th?
No.
Really?
I was told that I should, but the prices in Fort Drum are insane. Yeah, pretty bad.
Bro, they're supposed to be $13 tattoos.
Nope, not in Fort Drum. At least not for the soldiers. But I wouldn't exactly trust the outer reaches of the base just because of the stories I've heard. So that's the way I live now. But
what is the way you live, being in the Army up there?
I mean, work is good. I mean, you guys have said that I've been gone for way longer. And the guy right there, yeah, a lot of that going on in the Army. But from what I can tell, time flies differently in active duty. Of course, you're separated from all of your. Like, I didn't think I was gone for that long, but from what I can tell, it has been quite a long time because I just got back from seeing my 2 little nieces. They were babies. They couldn't even say my name right. They were saying Omas instead of Tomas.
Hey, I like Omas.
Yeah.
Omas is pretty cool.
It seems more like tough, but
yeah, Omas.
they came through that door, and I couldn't even believe my eyes. I was like, I have been gone. Like, really, I've been gone. These little girls are talking in, like, full sentences. They're saying, they still say Omas, and I hope, I pray that will never change like that. It sounds
like
way
that.
better.
Yeah.
I stuck to that. I was like, Omas is my name now, okay? And they were like, okay. And but
okay, Omas.
But I've been gone. So if you are in the active duty, I would say go home as often as you can. From what I can tell, Charlie Company DSSB, I'm talking to you. It has been very difficult to get leave. It's much easier to find gold and diamonds than it is to catch some leave, but that's partly because we have to pick up everyone else's weight. If you're in that brigade, I'm praying for you. I'm over here. I made it, but you guys are still back there. I'm sorry.
No, that's crazy. I know, you know, my brother and everyone who are listening right now, my brother's in the Marine Corps. I have a whole family in the military. You know, you're in the Army, Rhiannon's in the Coast Guard, JC's in the Marine Corps, uncle, grandpa in the Navy. No one in the Air Force. Maybe we're not smart enough. No, I'm just kidding. Or the Space Force. That's a new one too, new branch. But anyways, you know, JC had the opportunity to really have his dreams become reality, and that was like to be like MARSOC, you know, like special forces and stuff. But what really made him stop and think was like his family, you know, his wife, his kids.
Have time for that. Yeah.
No, bro, they'll be out for like a year and a half, 6 months, 8 months at a time, and you know, birthdays and births and all, you miss all that, you know. And so I think he made the right decision. You know, I know a lot of people, like, they have like these crazy dreams that, you know, hopefully one day happen, but sometimes like there's a reason why they should just be dreams.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, definitely.
And like a lot of people, they don't look at it, the whole aspect. They just see this one thing that they have in mind, and they just want to like sacrifice everything to get that. But like when you sacrifice everything to get that, like
Once you're there, you're like, wait a minute.
you know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm glad he didn't go that way. He's a lot happier now, I can tell you that much. And even though he's, what is he, a gunnery sergeant now?
no, he's just a staff sergeant.
Still. Like, I'd be respecting my sergeants a lot more than I did before when I got, like, the very first day I got into the Army, I was like, damn, these guys are dipshits. But until then, big respect for all of them. They have really opened my eyes on, like, for starters, I did rank up a little bit. I'm not a sergeant, thankfully.
What are you, a corporal? Lance corporal?
I'm just a specialist, E4 Mafia. But
E4 Mafia?
Yeah.
That sounds kind of hard.
It sounds hard, but it doesn't
Just
go that
because the
hard.
Mafia is in there.
Yeah.
E4 Mafia, that's pretty cool.
But from what I can tell, being a sergeant, you need good, like, parenting skills. That's something that I didn't figure out until, like, I had to be in charge of soldiers. And I was like, wow, I can't just ask people to do things anymore, especially when they, like, give you people you don't know. Oof, completely different change. But
how does that change you, like, in your perspective?
I mean, it changes, like, what I'm capable of. At first, I thought I had it all figured out. Like, oh, I can sergeant, too easy. But then, like, once you're on that, when you're in that position, oh, no, maybe not.
Really?
From what I can tell, if you have kids, it's a lot easier. You have more patience. I struggle with patience. I cannot.
Oh, yeah.
If I have a problem with a soldier, that's my issue. I try to figure it out right there and then. And the way I do it is
Yelling? Just,
no, I don't. I hate yelling, but it's like.
You hate yelling?
I've only yelled once, but it was for a good reason. I didn't get in trouble for it, so luckily we're good. But I'm not gonna get into the details of that. But yeah, being patient is hard. Like, as a parent, you got to be patient, and I can't do that. I'm not.
You know, so, like, I've never been in the military, right? But what I can say is, like, I dated an older woman, you know.
Okay.
She had a kid, 13-year-old son at the time. And, I had a moment when, like, I had to sit the family down, meaning, like, me, his mom, and him, and, like, really talk to the son, be like, look, if we really want all this to work out, like, expectations, you know, like, what do you expect from all of us? What do you want to see from all of us? You know, like, how do you want us to, like, care for each other, communicate with each other? Like, what do you not want us to do, you know? And so, like, I had to be, like, a parent for the first time.
Oh, shoot.
And, you know, I think I did pretty well.
Really?
I think so, because at the end of the day, we all hugged and, you know, we had dinner together and watched movies together. Like, it was really good. Because prior to that, something happened, and he was very, very upset.
Like, upset at you, or?
Me and his mom and
Okay.
whatever. So I was like, okay, we all need to sit down. We need to talk.
Right.
And so that was my first time stepping in as, like, a quote-unquote parent. But what really makes me laugh is, like, people tell me all the time, they're like, I don't know how your mom did it. You know, having 3-4 kids at a time, trying to get them, you know, in order or whatever. And when my girlfriend at the time, her son, his name's Zeke, you know, when she had to wake him up for school, I was laughing, you know, because it reminded me of my mom. And, you know, he was like, she's like, wake up, Zeke, wake up for school. I'm making you breakfast. And he's like still in bed. She's like, Zeke, wake up, you know, and like progressively it just got like a little more frustrating.
Right.
And I had to step in there and be like, hey, Zeke, you know, your mom's making you breakfast. Like, it's time to get up for school. We don't want to be late. Like, da-da-da-da, you know. And it's just like, I was that child. You know, I would sleep in the whole time, you know, like I wouldn't care. Like,
Couldn't even be mad at this kid, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, imagine having 3 kids like that, you know, like, you know. But going back to like the military, like you're handling, you know, a whole platoon or
No, thankfully not. I only have like 3 soldiers.
Mhm.
2 of them are great.
There's always just that one problem child, right?
2 of them are problem children. But it just depends. Army's changed a lot. It used to be you'd get lower enlisted soldiers, and they'd all be very young and ready to work. And now we have old people. And
Really?
They are ready to work, but they have a lot of wisdom, you know. You can't just tell them what to do. Like, imagine an 18-year-old high-ranking individual telling a 34-year-old private. You still got the rank. That's something out there, like, respect 100%. Like, some people who are of age understand that you have to respect that rank, and there's some that are like,
Doesn't matter what your rank is.
Kid,
Like,
get away from me, you know, like.
yeah.
But from what I can tell, it just depends on the soldier. I have never had a problem with a single one, so we're good. We're still on the right track. I haven't done anything bad in the Army yet. We'll see.
Well, that's good. And do you like being in the Army? Or if you could have chose a different branch, would there be a different branch you would have chosen?
Funny you say that. I almost joined. I almost joined the Marines. I was, I think, 3 days away from MEPS. So what happened was I went through all the processing, the paperwork, the signing, the the date after. Or the day before I was supposed to show up for MEPS, my sergeant was like, meet me in the office. And I say, okay. So I show up on the same time, and he never showed up. So I'm just sitting there in the parking lot trying to get a hold of this man. Never answered my calls. And what was next door was the Army. They were open, so I was like, let me see.
Oh, so this was the Marine sergeant that was like, meet me, and then.
Yeah, the Marine sergeant was late, I guess, or just had misinformation. I don't know. But
Okay.
I show up to the Army, and I open the door, and it was empty. All these high-ranking sergeants were just staring at me, and they were like, how you doing? And I said, I kind of had a little, like, swagger to it. I was like, I'm about to join the Army. I'm about to join the Marines. Sell me. And then
You sell me? That's so Tomas, bro. Oh, I like it.
Some guy raised his hand. He looked nerdy, so I was like, oh, he doesn't have a good chance. Okay, let's see. And he sold me. I was like, I like to go infantry. And he was like, are you sure? We have a lot more options than Marines. And I said, what do you mean? And that's when it started. He gave me this whole pamphlet, and he was showing me all these options. He gave me an option to be 11 Bravo. And then he mentioned the word bonus, and that wasn't something I found very familiar with Marines, of course. But
yeah, Marines didn't have bonuses, did they?
if they did, it'd be like for a really good job that I was not smart enough for, qualified for.
You're smart enough, just not qualified.
But I just shot a question. I was like, what's the highest bonus you can offer me? And he was like, can you drive? I was like, yeah, I have a driver's license. He's like, okay, for $40,000, we can get you a 4-year contract being a truck driver. And I was like, oh, what? Very easy. I was like, at first I was like, maybe infantry jobs aren't that great. That's a lot of money, you know? Plus I'm a soldier to begin with. So I take it. And he sold it. If my recruiter's watching this, oh man.
He's like, sold.
I'm going to expose you for this. But he
got another one.
He brought out his phone, and he was showing himself in Germany, Italy, France, Poland. And I was looking at the dates, and I was like, wow, these are only like a year apart. You know what? This sounds like a great gig. I can go anywhere. They were joking about the traveling part. After all this grueling...
Wait, they were joking about the traveling part?
They lied.
Oh, no.
When I show up to my company, and it was great at first, it's cold. Fort Drum is cold. I already explained that, but you get used to it. Now it's like, I'm here in California, it's like, what, 60 degrees? And y'all are saying that it's cold, and I'm always like, this is perfect weather. This is fantastic weather.
It's a little hot, actually. I got to take off my sweater.
But Yeah, it's a little different. So if you're gonna join the army, make sure that you pick the place you want to go and you actually have a deployment option. Because I didn't go through that because they made it sound like it's impossible for an 88 Mike to not deploy, and I was like, all right, word. He sold me on that.
I'll take your word for it.
So it's been like I think more than a year and a half. Have not been deployed anywhere. I've been submitting my
Deployment applications.
applications for volunteers, except for the fact that I'm almost certain that somebody higher up is saying, no, we're not going to have this soldier go anywhere. He's too valuable, or he's too bad. I don't know. It really depends. At this point, I'll take whatever. It could be that I'm a bad soldier, or it could be that I'm
Yeah,
they don't
you're
wanna-
valuable and they need you. Because, I mean, I think about it. I mean, well, for one, like, you're not married. You don't have kids. So you're applicable in that sense.
Yeah.
But once you get in a higher rank, like, you know, it's so crazy how things are different nowadays. Like, you know, back in the day, like, the kings will be out there during the wars, out there in the battlefield, you know. Now the generals and all of them, they're
far
bad.
away, thousands of
Yeah.
miles away,
Yeah,
looking
you
at
know,
a screen or something.
the ones that are in charge are not the ones in war, you know.
And like from what I can tell, we have a lot of people in charge. Like, I think we have too many people in charge when it comes to the army. And that's a good thing, because if you look at like how the Russians, I don't know their chain of command to be honest, but I know for a fact that they're struggling on that part because they have like was it corrupt military, so they be selling a lot of their equipment. And then the conflict with Ukraine showed up and they were no equipment. Oh, where'd it go? They stole it. Nope, they stole it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think with when it comes to like having a lot of, you know, people in command or change in command, someone told me the other day, like, you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
Because then it's kind of like playing telephone. Like, all right, you want your boys to be there at like 0600, and then it's actually like 0800, and then there's a lot of like, you know, just waiting around. You know, kind of like one of the stories you told me today, right? It was like, oh, they said like 5 a.m. or maybe that was Ingrid who said that.
Oh no, yeah, I remember I told her this is called an SSA run, and we show up at like 3, stage our trucks,
in the morning,
start driving. We show up at the SSA facility at like 5:45, maybe 30, and we wait there for like 4 hours, and it's just
oh my gosh,
waiting and waiting and waiting, and for the most part, it's not too bad. But it just takes a lot of time, and I feel like when you look at other people working in the civilian sector, they go through the same problem. The railroad, I think some other, I'm not sure what else has any transportation or supply matrices inside their work portfolio, but
probably like the shipping, the ships for like the shipping containers and stuff.
I can only
the
imagine.
loading docks.
Yeah.
You know, for all that.
But for the most part, leadership-wise, we're good. Like, we just need
More communication, better
better
communication.
communication. Yeah, a lot better communication.
Yeah, I think that's it with like almost everything.
I mean,
you
it
know?
still functions good. It's just it needs polishing. There you go. It needs
Yeah,
more
polishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I watched a movie yesterday, and it was I watched Midway, and it was about like the attack on Pearl Harbor and stuff.
All right.
And obviously, it's based on a true story, but they use like the real characters, not the real characters, but yeah, like the real characters, not the real people. You know, to portray like what happened on like their side of the story and stuff. And it was so like what would you call it? It like kept me on my toes, bro. I was like, you know what I mean? Because it was very intense and it was very stressful, like to watch this movie. Like, you know, there's like Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down. Like those are all great movies.
Okay.
You know, this one I was really like getting frustrated with.
Really?
Because they'll be like, it's about like these fighter pilots with little bombs, and they dive bomb to like take out the aircraft carriers like over in the Navy, you know, against the Japanese. And you know, some of them like they're doing good, they're not getting shot down, they drop the bombs, like they miss the ships. I'm like, Or like there was this one where like the submarine shot a torpedo, it hit the boat, but it was a dud, it didn't go off. And so you're sitting there like, what?
Like,
You know what I mean?
What's supposed to happen in movies? Like,
It's so crazy. And like the technology going from like even like World War I, World War II, like they didn't really really like you said, like polish the equipment, like there'll be a lot of duds. You know, you'll hear artillery coming in. You know, maybe 8 out of 10 times they'll go off. Whatever, it's like very tragic, sad, and like a lot of destruction. But sometimes, you know, maybe luckily it's just a dud. You know, but a lot of movies don't portray that. And when I was watching this movie yesterday, I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh,
Wow.
dude. You know, like you know how crazy just being on that side, on both sides, you know, like you drop a bomb, you miss, or you shoot a torpedo and it just didn't go off.
No,
You know what I
right,
mean?
Yeah.
On both sides, they're like, ah, you see the bomb coming and it just goes right over you, or like you see the bomb hit the boat and it's just like nothing happens. You're like, woo, you know, like you survived another day. It's a crazy movie. It's actually, I didn't expect it, but now it's like one of my favorites.
Dang.
You know?
Well, that still happens though.
Yeah.
Like back at the company, we have 50 cals. My favorite weapon to shoot, and the only thing I'm actually good at shooting for the most part. And that's sad because I have an M4 and I still need to shoot a little bit more better.
You suck with an M4.
I don't suck. Like I could be a lot better. Like
Okay.
compared to the 50 cal, man, I'm perfect at that weapon. But we have some difficult weapons up there. Like I remember I had a shoot and I was getting aneurysms by how mad it was making me. Like it wouldn't work, and we found out that it was a broken weapon to begin with. And there's a lot of those. I feel like if we ever went out, we'd probably like polish those weapons a lot better. Like I'd be mad if they were just like, all right, pick up your weapons and let's go. And it's like,
You're
what
like,
about,
my gun
wait
sucks.
a minute. Yeah.
It's like, bro, I struggle every day at the range, bro.
And they're just like, oil it up. Like, no.
No, that's not how it works. And you know, they think that, you know, weapons are like flawless when
Yeah, the
rea-
public will tell you that, yeah.
Yeah, in reality, it's not. I mean, when I went shooting for my birthday, my brother, he had a Glock, and it kept jamming.
The Glock?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's what Glock's known for. They're known for like not jamming, to be very reliable, you know. And with JC's, like he always had to like rechamber it, recock it, and all that. And so like the reality is like it's just crazy, you know.
But in the Army, that's bad to see.
Yeah.
For the most part, we're pretty good with weapons that aren't being used a lot, like the grenade launchers. We never use them, so they're not really that broken. But the 50 cals have a lot of mileage. I think they were still used since Iraq. That's what the armory person was telling us, that these weapons have been in here since Iraq. And I was like, dang.
If they're not broken, then why fix them?
Right.
You know? I mean, really, I don't know if you guys know this, but the military has a military budget every year. And I'm not trying to spill no secrets. Maybe it's not a secret. I don't know. But it's like use it or lose it type stuff. And my buddy, who is also in the Marine Corps, they were like, hey, we have all this, you know, ammo that we have to dump. Because, like, they get X amount of supplies, but they can't have a surplus of supplies. They can't go overboard.
Really?
So they have to dump whatever they didn't use.
Interesting.
So there'll be times where they're up in the helicopter and they're shooting 50 cals just into the ocean.
Just for fun.
Just
Yeah.
for fun.
All right.
Because they have to get rid of like, they don't want us to do what the Russians are doing and selling our stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Or, like, doing anything, like, along those lines. So, or having old equipment, quote unquote, but, you know, some of our equipments, they get jammed all the time. And so, yeah, he was showing me videos like, yeah, dude, we had to use all these bullets. Like, so we just went to the ocean and started shooting, you know, dumping it. Which, honestly, as an experience, that's really cool. But
Right.
they do that even with, like paint and just, like, metal material. Like, they just dump it all in the ocean, you know? And then they spend the money to buy new stuff, and if they don't use it, they have to dump it.
Huh. I mean, I guess I can understand it. Like, don't let your enemies have it or whatever. Russians have that issue already with Ukraine, but that's not my problem.
Yeah. What is your problem, Tomas? Tomas.
I'm a live life guy. I don't really have a problem with anything. Like when the army says war with Russia, it's like we're fine.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't really say. Like I'm not worrisome. If you trust your team, you're fine. But as an army, I think we're great as long as our Air Force is still up. We're gonna win everything. Like,
Hey, Air Force.
yeah, Air Force is nuts. I can only imagine like some nerdy guy with glasses and like no body physique, just saying, "Oh yeah, I run drones and I have like 150 kills." I'm like, what? And
See, isn't that crazy? Okay, let's talk about this for a second. We only got like 5 more minutes until we go on like on our 5-minute break. But there is a difference between, and I'm not saying me, but I've watched a lot of interviews and stuff, and someone who is inside of some type of like shelter or bunker, whatever, flying a drone, killing people from a far distance, is different than looking someone in the eye, killing them, and watching them.
it desensitizes. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're not really doing it, so it's much easier, I guess.
Isn't that
Way easier. Like
Is
it's like playing a video game, I guess.
exactly?
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me. You know what I mean? And so it's like Shane Gillis. You know Shane Gillis, the comedian?
No.
Oh, dude.
Oh wait, yeah, he was
Yeah.
the one that was like comparing the terrorists to the Americans.
Yeah, bro,
I
it's-
can relate more to the terrorists than the Americans because they sound like desensitized robots.
Yeah, they're just like, flying a helicopter and just murdering 50 people and
Just clear, and then the
yeah.
he's depicting the terrorists running around, jumping around like,
Oh!
yeah, yeah,
His feet's moving while he's shooting.
right.
Yeah. And I also was watching this other interview, and the guy was talking about, he's like, the one thing that the Taliban's do really well is not poking their head up. They'll just, you just
Oh,
see an
blind
AK.
fire. Yeah.
Blind fire. And he was like, and you think that you're not going to get hit by one of those? Like, imagine, 100 Taliban, doing a blind fire, just bullets spraying everywhere towards you. You don't think one of those bullets are going to hit you? You know what I mean? He's like, they don't even poke their heads up. Like, they're like,
Maybe
yeah,
they-
they're a little crazy, but that tactic kind of works.
Maybe they train like that. They're like, you missed, do it again, and they just like,
yeah,
dude,
blind fire.
that's
just
how
like,
the ranges
no,
are.
yeah. They're like, give them a blindfold. Like, you must fight with your ears.
Shoot without
Like,
seeing. That's crazy.
they take away one of your senses so you can enhance your others. Just like you can hear a soldier like a mile away.
America is secretly fighting super soldiers. We
Yeah,
don't even know it,
exactly. Yeah. It's not about the armor, Because like I also think about it, having too much stuff on you, like too much armor and all that stuff.
It's horrible.
Talk about lack of mobility. When I was in martial arts, they had when you sparred, it was a headgear, gloves, and like foot pads.
Okay.
If you wanted, you can have little shin pads, and then they also had a full body one, stomach, thighs, like all that. But then you can't move that well. You don't have the mobility. Like it weighs you down. It's heavy, and even in like civilization, like there's a reason why a lot of like, especially like the Romans and stuff, like they had big shields and stuff, but they weren't covered head to toe in armor.
Right. Like the Germans, I remember at a point they were wearing shining armor, like from head to toe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't like the armor I wear. The armor I wear in the army. It's a little.
Really?
It's a little cumbersome. Yeah. Like it makes everything uncomfortable, and from what I can tell, it stops shrapnel, but doesn't do very well with explosions. Like if it happens right next to you, it's like.
You're gonna feel it.
Well, yeah.
You're gonna
Even your
feel it.
helmet can't stop bullets if it's being shot close enough to you. If it's from a distance, you're fine. Close enough? No.
Yeah, I mean there was stories and tales of like, men like soldiers experiencing like getting shot in the helmet, and it was like a entry hole and there was an exit hole directly behind them, like out the back of the helmet, but it's like the curvature of the helmet kind of like deflected the bullet, and there's
Wow.
like countless of stories of men being like, whoa,
Like I should be dead right now.
yeah,
What?
like what? Like how did that
yeah.
happen? And even in Saving Private Ryan, they show that. Like they show a scene where they're going up D-Day. This guy's sticking his head out,
Oh, yeah.
and
He like
the
takes his
helmet
head
gets
off.
shot off. Yeah, he looks at it. He's like, whoa, and then it's like, oh, like that's another thing,
Like gets you mad. Like I could just keep it on. Like come on.
like oh, you just had to stop yourself for 1 second.
Helmet's good. I think we should keep helmets. I'd like to have like a face covering though. That'd be pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah. Like
You're all breathing. It gets all foggy. Yeah.
maybe that might be a problem. I'll
Yeah.
put some breathing apparatuses or something. But face protection is good, especially when there's like dirt and stuff being pushed up. Because when we fired, we did an exercise where our sergeant was kicking sand in our eyes, and wow, we were not shooting well at all. Like not
Really?
even a little bit good. Like it was bad. And even with the iPro, like it still went down and
Yeah, there's
got
still
into our eyes.
dust and
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
Like
But
you're still dealing with that.
we just got rough and tough it. I mean, they did in World War II, so
And that's
I'm
what
just built
and that's
different,
what
I
I'm
guess.
thinking too. Like, and I talked about this before on my show. They were like, oh, they treat the people in the military like dirt, like da 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 da, like, you know. But at the end of the day, it's like if you're active in war, and you're living in a ditch, like,
Yeah.
don't you want to be like conditioned for that? Not like, oh, we don't want you thinking like, oh, I miss my barracks, I miss the cozy bed and the heater. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that type of lifestyle to have if you have men who are going out to war.
I think they call that like warrior culture. Like just keep it
Warrior culture.
keep
yeah.
it always like
Keep it simple.
not even that, but like they're always in the dirt. That's why I like the Marines compared to the Army in terms of like training. Like y'all are there, but
It may
y'all
suck,
are
you
there.
know, like from an outside and inside perspective, but there's a reason why they're doing that.
No, yeah, definitely. Like I have had soldiers in the Army out in the field act like babies, like just true babies. Like they couldn't handle the cold, and it gets cold. But I'm like, maybe you should take off some of your clothes. You don't sweat so much, and they just don't understand that. They just start piling on more clothes
Really?
until a sergeant comes in and just says, "What are you doing?
Take off all your clothes.
You've been trained for this." And then normally there's a different culture in the Army and in the Marines, but we have a lot more like in the Army we can't exactly like I don't know how to say this. We don't really have like the same
Mentality?
mentality, but method of getting things done.
Mm.
Like I know Marines have it like they get a team and then there's a higher enlisted and lower enlisted and they get the lower enlisted to do whatever they want, or maybe it's not the same. I don't know. From what I can tell in the Army, it's everybody works as one, and then we all suck it up and do it. It could be different in the infantry. I'm a pogue for the infantry. I'm a pogue.
What does
But
that mean?
it's I don't know what the acronym means, but it basically means I'm in the Army, but I'm doing like a
You're not doing
infantry
infantry.
role. Like I'm just a truck driver.
Okay, but there's a reason why there's certain roles. So, all right, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. When we come back, we're gonna continue. Just chopping it up. Maybe we might switch the subject here, switch the category if you guys are tired of talking about the Army. I know you.
Yeah, that
You
sounds
just
good.
came back.
Yeah,
so-
now I'm
so-
back talking about the Army.
I
Nope.
know. It's lifestyle. Anyway, guys, you're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in Durga, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday bed.
Oh, swell. Here it comes again. It's the great man theory of history, trotted out periodically by plutocrats, patricians, royalists, and assorted other proponents of an elitist social order. They insist that great progress does not come from political movements, unions, and other grassroots forces, but from the genius and benevolence of individual daring-do capitalist innovators. In a declaration this month, for example, a group of laissez-faire land hucksters asserted that it was not labor's long, bloody struggle that advanced workers' rights, but industrial America's generous bosses. These befuddled revisionists of corporate history proclaim that, quote, unions did not create weekends, the 8-hour workday, or a living wage. No? Who then? Henry Ford did it in 1926, they say, adding emphatically that, quote, capitalism and competition creates higher wages and better working conditions. Excuse me, boss, but capitalism constantly tries to destroy any competitive market, and it thrives by holding down wages, repressing worker rights, and eliminating jobs. Forget the right wing's cartoonish portrayal of Henry the Great as a working-class savior. He was a Nazi-admiring, anti-Semitic industrial magnate. Contrary to the revisionists, unions did indeed create their own progress, having fought for wage and hour protections since the 1860s. They rallied popular support with this slogan, 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, 8 hours for what we will. This is Jim Hightower saying, and here's an inconvenient fact that causes the hair of today's corporate mythmakers to burst into flames. It was not some genius capitalist who first established the 8-hour day as our national standard. It was government. President Ulysses Grant instituted it for all federal workers in 1869, half a century before Ford finally trailed behind. The Hightower Radio Lowdown is made possible by you subscribers to Jim Hightower's Lowdown on Substack. Find us at jimhightower.substack.com.
And now, the voices of KCAA with an exciting announcement.
Want to hear NBC News or KCAA anywhere you go? Well, now there's an app for that.
KCAA is celebrating 25 years and our silver anniversary with a brand new app.
The new KCAA app is now available on your smart device, cell phone, in your car, or any place.
Just search KCAA on Google Play or in the Apple Store.
One touch and you can listen on your car radio, Bluetooth device, Android Auto, or Apple CarPlay.
Catch the KCAA buzz in your earbuds or on the streets, celebrating 25 years of talk, news, and excellence with our new KCAA app.
Just do it and download it.
KCAA, celebrating 25 years.
How you doing? This is Gary Garver. In today's society, the majority of people are not getting enough sleep. I know I'm not. If you're like me and having problems getting a good night's rest, whether it's health or stress related, I have a solution for you. South Pacific Sleep Lab. South Pacific Sleep Lab will do an evaluation of your sleep pattern and will provide a comprehensive study so you can start getting a restful, peaceful night of sleep. They take all types of insurance, which will cover your cost of the evaluation, and they will even provide transportation to their offices at no cost to you. For more information, contact Tony at 310-999-1887. That's 310-999-1887. Tony even stays awake all night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so you can sleep better and rest easy. South Pacific Sleep Lab. Start feeling better and getting a great night of sleep today.
You like to safely leverage bank money to earn double-digit returns, income tax-free, with guarantees, and no downside market risk? How can you do this? This is Ference, host of the Your Personal Bank Show. 1. You fund a high cash value policy one time to earn dividends and interest. 2. Establish a bank line of credit using the cash in your policy as collateral. When you earn more in dividends from your policy than the interest the bank charges, you keep the difference. And the difference is averaged 2 to 5% annually in your favor for the past 40 plus years. 3. The bank funds contributions years 2 to 20 plus. Each year the bank adds funds, your rate of return increases. Your average rate of return can grow to strong double digits annually within a few years. Contact me at yourpersonalbank.com, yourpersonalbank.com, or 866-268-4422, 866-268-4422 for more info, or tune in to the Your Personal Bank Show.
Your Personal Bank Show airs Tuesdays at 4 p.m. right here on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listeners behind.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in Durga, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works, and tonight I have my stepbrother on, Mr. Omas Cueva. I think I like Omas too better. I think
more manly. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a little more.
Omas.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. Anyways, my stepbrother's here. Our co-host is watching the Saints football game over in Arizona, so it's just him and I tonight. Well, and Joe as well as the board op here. If you guys are just tuning in, we're kind of talking about what you just got away from. We're talking about the Army, the military, things like that.
Hopefully we'll change subjects.
Yeah, we're gonna change it real quick here. But if you guys want to go back and listen to the first half of the show, you always can, or any previous shows from the last 4 years. Just look up KCAA Whatever Works on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, our website, kcaradio.com. It has our archive there. You can just click on one of those. We have guests every Sunday. Next week, we're going to have Ronan, who is a music producer, coming on the show to play some pretty good music. But for tonight, for the rest of the show, so it's only only 20 minutes.
Okay.
So it's gonna go by kind of fast. If you guys want to call in, if you guys have any questions, please do. The line is 909-383-1000. That's 909-383-100000. No, I'm just kidding. 1000. Anyways, before we I didn't do any of our sponsorships. I usually have our co-host Kyle do the sponsorships, but shout out to SNJ Radio. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music. And shout out to West Coast Solar Cleaning. If you guys need your guys' solar clean, which you do, keep them clean, save money, save energy. West Coast Solar Cleaning, you can give them a call at 909-769-6220. That's 909-769-6220. I think they're doing like a holiday discount or holiday pricing, so make sure you guys get your solar panels cleaned. I clean my mom's, at least twice a year, or you should, depending on your location and stuff. So those are our sponsorships for this week. So Tomas, getting off the subject of like the Army and the military and stuff, like I know you have some hobbies and things that you like to do. Have you been able to do any of them since you've been on, or?
Ooh, dang.
Well, what are you gonna do Well, you're only here for like what, 2 or 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah.
What are you gonna do? Snowboard, right?
Everything. I need to get.
You're gonna do everything?
Yeah. So no plans specifically, but I'm just going with the flow. Right now, I'm going snowboarding apparently tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow you're going snowboarding?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, day after tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm gonna go see some family, which is gonna happen a lot. I'm gonna see family like every day at this point. There'll be a couple of days where I have it on my own, but
that's needed.
Needed.
Yeah.
You know how long it's been since I've seen the beach? I haven't seen a beach for like I haven't been in the ocean.
You trying to go to the beach in December, bro?
I know. Horrible.
Well, hey,
lucky
for you in California. Hey, it's always sunny in California. So the beach might be pretty cool. Might be nice.
I just need the smells. Like in Fort Drum, we have a beach in Fort Drum, but it's just a very big giant
it's a lake.
Yeah, it's a huge lake. It's a huge lake.
You
walk up to it and you're like, oh, it might be a beach, like an ocean.
Could be.
But then you like look at it on a map and you're like, this is a big lake. I've been deceived. But
what beach did you want to go to?
At this point, anywhere except Long Beach. Yeah, I don't really care for Long Beach. Sorry, guys. But I'll probably go Santa Monica.
Isn't Santa Monica and Long Beach like right next to each other?
Yep.
I know Santa Monica's right next to Venice.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I just want to go there. I want to see like all the lights and stuff at night, and maybe I won't get in the water at night, obviously, but during the day it's probably gonna be cold too. Whatever, we'll thug it out. It'll be good. It'll be good.
We'll thug it out.
We'll thug it out.
Yeah. The last time I'm such a baby when it comes to the ocean. I don't like the ocean. I try not to mess with Mother Nature. That's why my mom, like today when we're talking about snowboarding, she's like, Sam, you better not go. Da, 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 da. I was like, if I had the choice, I'm choosing not to. Like, okay. I just don't mess with Mother Nature, bro. Like, Mother Nature laughs last, all right? True. So, like, but the only time was the most recent 4th of July. I was at the beach with my lady, and she's like going out there. I'm like, I don't go past my belly button, bro. Like, my waist, that's it. I don't go anything. Like, once my feet, like, get off the sand, like, I freak out.
Oh, no.
The currents, you don't know what's underneath your feet. You can be like, I don't mess with any of that stuff. But what was really cool is I can't float. I never learned how to float, like, on my back,
That's probably because you have low body percentage, or low fat percentage, yeah. That happens to people with no fat. Guys, I'm fat, so I can float all day.
Yeah. So, but, in the ocean, the salt and everything, the buoyancy,
That's true.
And for the first time, I was like, wow, I get to float on my back. But then I was scared because I was exposed. I was like, am I going to look like a seal floating, like a shark just has the perfect opportunity to munch on me,
Dang.
And it's weird because it's like there's like many fears that I have that I don't even know that I have, The ocean is one of them. Like, some people are like, oh, you're not scared of the ocean. You're scared of what's in the ocean. No, I'm scared of the ocean too, bro. Like,
right.
Like, it's crazy.
I don't like drowning, right? Like, that's just another thing.
Have you ever drowned before?
No. I think I almost did, but it was me freaking out because it was my first time ever trying to learn how to swim.
Okay.
It happens to everyone, I guess. But drown? Heck no. Have you?
There was this one time, because you know how they say, like, if someone's drowning, like, never go and, like, try to save them, like, throw, like, a life raft or anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, throw something so they can go. So I was at a YMCA, and I was, like, a little kid. I was in the deep end. I exhausted myself. My mom was, like, midway. I was, like, swimming to her. And I started to, like, really, like, sink. I just got so tired. And so my mom was, like, trying to help me, but I was, like, shoving her down under. Yeah,
what?
you know, I, like, you know, I mean,
they say they gotta punch you in the face if you start doing that.
I mean, it happens, you know. There's this one time, and I talk about it quite frequently because, like, it's almost like it's something I've always wanted to do was, like, save a life, you know?
Okay.
And were you there? I'm not sure, with JC's buddy when we all went cliff jumping.
Oh yeah, I think so.
You were there, right?
Yeah.
Where he, like, smacked the water and just, like, started sinking.
Oh, okay. Yes, I was.
You were there?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, with that, like, when I jumped in the water, like, he was totally knocked out.
No, yeah.
You know? And, like,
I wonder what happened.
Well,
like, we never, like, he just got knocked out, but why?
Oh, well, dude, that's like smacking concrete, bro. Like,
But he didn't, like, hit his face, did he?
No, when he threw his arm up, I have
Yeah.
the video.
Oh.
When he threw his arm up, like, his body, like, tilted to the side.
Oh.
And it just, like, knocked the air out of him, broke his ribs, punctured his lungs, like, everything, you know?
Damn.
And you see his body resurface, like, his back, and then you just see him start to sink into darkness. But when I jumped in there, like, just me, I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't, like, he was so heavy, it was dead weight, like, I needed help, you know? And I felt bad because he had a broken neck, okay? But obviously didn't know it at the time. And because he was sinking and I was sinking, like, I didn't know what else to do, so I just took his head and just, like, tried to shove it. Like,
okay, yeah.
But that's probably what broke his neck. I don't know.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that's when Cole jumped in, and then he helped me, and we were able to, like, push him up towards the surface, and then you guys, like, dragged him out, like, super crazy. But I really don't know how I, you know, like, if I was out in the ocean or someone, you know, like, if I'm trying to, like, have someone swim them back, you know, like, I don't think I'd be able to do that. I don't know how to. I can barely swim myself.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm a swimmer, like, I can swim, but I'm not like an avid swimmer, you know.
Like, I can't take weight and pick it up into the water. Like,
Yeah.
No, that's
You
not
know?
happening.
So that I don't, you know, I just don't mess. And, like, cliff jumping too. Like, have you been cliff jumping?
I forgot. There's, like, dots. There's, like, a red dot and there's a black dot. Is the black dot at the very top?
I think it's red dot. Red dot's the top.
I remember I jumped really high, and now I'm thinking about it. It's like, damn, I could have really died over there.
Yeah,
like,
bro,
I
that's
mean,
so
we
crazy.
took it as if it was just a game, but I'm like, oh my goodness.
You know, I never cliff jumped there other than when I had to jump in to go save him. Like, because, like, for one, bro, I don't know if it was that time, but there was a time in the shadows, in the shade, there was snow.
Ah,
Like,
you
that
did it in the
water was so cold, bro, so cold.
Nah,
You
you're
know?
crazy for that.
Yeah, and when I go to Havasu, like, there's a trick. Like, if I'm scared to do it, you know? Because, like, what if, like, you jump in and, like, something stabs the bottom of your foot? You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
I'm just like, I don't like that stuff.
Sounds terrible.
But you throw your sandals first.
Okay.
So now you have to go get them. Like, that's what you gotta do, you know? Like, that's what I started doing. But I don't really do much, anything like that. I'm not an adrenaline junkie, as they say, you know?
No,
So,
yeah.
But you have that. I feel like maybe you don't go out of the way, but you do it anyways, like, if other people are doing it. You know what I mean?
Peer pressure. Nah, it's not that.
It's more like just tag along.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, you're just down for it, you know?
Right.
Like, snowboarding, all right, let's go. Like, me, I'm like,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
nah, I'm good. Like, you know, like, tree wells. You heard about tree wells and stuff? Like,
Nah.
bro, people, like, it would, like, you're snowboarding by trees, and you can literally fall in, like, deep next to a tree that's, like, they call it a well because you're just, like, falling through, like, as if it's a well. And then, like, people don't find you. You know what I mean? Like, you
heck
get
no.
lost.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's, like, hard to get back because now you're upside down, discombobulated, like, whatever the case may be. I was like, there's so many, like, you know, but then I guess that's, like, living in fear, you know? Like,
It's the adrenaline.
I
love
guess.
That. I love that.
Yeah, you love the adrenaline?
No, I can take it and leave it at this point. If you're trying to make me go and snowboard in those conditions, heck no, absolutely not.
Really? That's interesting. What about skydiving?
I feel like that's easy.
You feel like that's
Like,
easy?
I'm not gonna pack my own bag, of course. Like, I'm gonna have a certified individual do that.
Right.
But I found out that you can't, like, you can't skydive on your own. You need to be like baby strapped to somebody.
Right,
I think
yeah,
that's
the
horrible.
first couple times. That's why I think the most extreme one is bungee jumping, bro. Bungee jumping, you're not strapped with anybody, and I seen videos where like it was too much slack. You know what I mean? And like, luckily they're over like a river or a creek, but they're just like
dunking in the water.
Yeah, bro.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I don't know, and the thing with skydiving, I heard for one, it's the plane ride up that's the most like
dangerous,
scariest.
Oh.
You know, anxiety. You know, all that stuff.
Like you say on the ground, I'm gonna do it, and then you get up there,
You're like,
I can't do it.
We've been flying for some time now, you know, like the turbulence and everything. I'm about to jump out, but like also like you're so high up in the sky when you actually jump off, like the falling feeling is not really there. Like maybe initially because it's like expected, you know, you're expecting to feel that, but it goes away in almost in an instant because like you're so high up in the sky, like the ground doesn't come towards you. You know?
No.
That's the falling feeling. But when you bungee jump, you're that ground, it's coming. You know what I mean?
there.
Like you see it. You're like,
see
ah!
it immediately, yeah.
You know, like that's not me.
Plus, you see those videos where there's like bungee jumping incidents.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tie her up. And
Right,
it's like,
right.
Oh, too late.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm gonna like look at everything. I'm gonna grab the thing, make sure it works.
Yeah.
Even then, I'll be like, "Are you certified? Are you certified? Let me see it." He's like, "Just jump." I'm like, no, I need to see your
Let me
certification."
hang first, real quick. You know, what is something that you wouldn't do?
Damn. Dang. What would I do?
Really seems like you're almost like unstoppable here. you
No.
know?
Hold on. There's something I want to do. I got to think about it.
Is it like
What would you not do?
a lot of things, bro?
Okay. Well, I mean, like,
I wouldn't go on a submarine.
what?
Bro, submarines? Are you kidding me? Like even the one.
No, you got a good point. I hate going deep water. That's horrible.
Yes, deep water. Skydiving is not my thing. And then like also like I have lack of blood flow from the waist down. Okay, and Timmy was like one time he went skydiving, the harness along his pelvis, it wasn't supported on correctly, or whatever, and like his legs started to go asleep. And it's like that's probably one of the worst annoying feelings ever. You know, and I can't be like up in that parachute and like my right leg falls asleep. You know what I mean? Like I can't.
Horrible.
Like that's like such a minor thing, but like I'm not the person who's extreme. At least not anymore. If I have stories of me doing some stupid stuff.
Okay.
You know, I mean, minor thing for one, riding bikes without brakes. That's pretty dumb. But you know, there's stories that I know our parents are listening. Both of our parents.
Pulling their heads out.
Bro,
pulling their hair out
I ain't
now.
saying nothing. I plead the fifth on the radio. But, you know, just the older I get, it's not like, oh, I value my life more. But for one, with all my blood clots and everything like that, like, I told myself I have to live a fragile life. Like, if I get in a car wreck, that's going to mess me up. If I get hurt, spraining my foot, breaking a leg, like, any of that can really mess me up.
Right.
So it's like, all right, we're just going to keep it cool, try to make some money, you know, help support the people that support me. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, even if you didn't have all this stuff, would you still not do it?
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, it will take, because all the things I've done in the past I wouldn't say peer pressure, but it was because of the people
Seeing your
I was
buddies
with.
do it?
Yeah, I was with my boys, you know, and it's like one time we went, you know, another one is like extreme, like rock climbing.
Oh, there you go. I won't do that. That's
You won't do
insane.
that?
That's
Okay.
ridiculous.
No, that's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
You
People
know-
that do that are insane.
No, they are. Oh my gosh. And then like, I know I saw Timmy's and Ingrid's reaction, but where Noelle and Rhiannon, like that.
Oh,
rock
the
that
photo,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, I would not, bro. It was
I need
like,
to see a 360 of that rock. 'cause
right?
I don't know how they got
What if
up
it was
there.
just like what if it was just like the angle is actually like small?
Yeah, like they're
It's like-
making it seem like it was the hardest thing we ever did. It's like,
Yeah, it's really, you turn the corner, it's like, bro, there's stairs.
There's a rail and everything.
We believe you, but really, like, now we know the truth. It's like,
The jig is up, guys. You're
yeah,
not that great.
that'd be funny. So, well, I mean, like, knowing our limits, you know what I mean? I think that's like the biggest thing, because a lot of people, they go past their limits and they get comfortable going past their limits, and that can cause, you know, injuries and, you know, far beyond that. So, but I mean, snowboarding sounds pretty fun. We only got a minute left.
Wow, that went by fast.
Yeah.
Incredible.
What do you want to say for the last 30 seconds? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Really.
Yeah.
It's good to be back home. I hope you guys are back home with your family, but have a great Christmas, everyone.
There you go. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for listening. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA, 1050 AM, Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works.
Tomas Cueva.
Omas
Cueva, my bad.
Now it's official. Over the radio, it's Omas. All right, you guys. Happy Sunday. Stay blessed. I'll see you guys next week.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in Durga, walk around the neighborhood.
San Bernardino, Loma Linda, Rialto listens to KCAA Radio.